This video series is going to be quite different from my usual videos, but this was requested by you guys and I want nothing more than to help all of you out. This first part of the series will cover what makes a video good, finding inspiration, and how to edit well. I have split it into many different sections, the timestamps for which you will find in the description. I highly encourage you to skip directly to the sections you most want to hear about, because this is a really long video and not all of the information in here applies to everyone. I will say that I haven't had my channel for as long as and my channel isn't as popular as other K-pop YouTubers, so of course I am not knowledgeable about everything. However, I do have a decent amount of experience and did an extensive amount of research on everything in this video to make sure I am getting you guys accurate information. A lot of this is stuff I found incredibly useful when I was trying to figure out how to start my channel, so I hope you will find it helpful as well. I drew on my own experience, the experiences of other YouTubers I've talked to, and the research I did to make this video. Now without further ado, let's get started. Making good videos is what everyone aspires to do. But what makes a video good? This is something that everyone has a different answer to, so I'm not going to tell you that your videos are bad because I myself don't find much interesting about them. However, there are some things that make a video objectively good, which I will tell you about now. If you have an idea that no one has done before, then your video is automatically better, even if the idea itself seems stupid. This is because you become more memorable. Even if someone sees your video and thinks that it's really dumb, that's still way better than someone seeing your video and having no thoughts about it at all. There are also ways to make your channel unique that don't involve the video ideas themselves. For example, you can use big words, which notably the K-pop YouTuber Mira does to great effect. You can have certain catchphrases you use. You can have a certain theme or aesthetic to your channel, where you use it for all your thumbnails and editing. It is things like these that will make your channel stand out from the others, and make it worth subscribing to. And the biggest thing you can do to make your channel unique, above all other things, is to piss people off. This is something that I apparently do quite well, though I swear to you that it wasn't my intention when I started this channel. I get many comments saying that I sound like I am purposely trying to make my opinions more offensive or quirky to get views, which I am not. But now that I know people think I am promoting this to you as a surefire way to be unique. Simply having opinions that are different is all it takes for you to stand out, whether it is opinions that people disagree with, or opinions that just no one else has brought up before. However, I strongly caution you against just making things up to sound more unique, because if it doesn't come from the heart, you will never be able to defend your opinion and I guarantee you will be called out for it. This is why you should not start an opinion-based channel unless you are really passionate about your opinions. It is impossible to look quirky when you're actually not. Having good editing, though it takes exponentially more time, will attract many more viewers to your channel. I will detail what specific things you should include in your editing to make a good video in the editing section. But you must remember that a video needs to be engaging in all aspects. A well-edited video is far more likely to grow your channel than a lazily edited one, even if it takes you the same amount of time to make one well-edited video as 3 lazily edited ones. I would go for the well-edited video every time. Especially in a niche where many videos are just screen recorded phantoms and that's it. Adding just the tiniest bit of pizzazz to your editing will make people impressed. No one wants to watch a video where you drone on about which songs you liked from an album if you don't explain anything about them. In order to make people like your channel for you and not for the idols you're covering, you should add some of your own personal flavor to it. I can't tell you what to do to make yourself more entertaining, because every person has a distinct personality. From what I hear from my subscribers, they like that I sound honest and don't hold back with my opinions. So find something like that would make people want to watch you. Maybe you are really funny, or maybe you are really smart. Everyone has something special about them, and you just have to sprinkle that into your videos to make people like you for you. Finding ideas is a constant struggle when it comes to making videos. The way that I find inspiration is honestly by watching other creators. I watch a lot of other channels, big and small, trendy and not trendy. When you watch other K-pop YouTubers, take note of what they do and don't talk about, and what you wish they would cover, because you, as one of their viewers, want that from them. I'm sure that your viewers would want that same topic from you as well. You'd be surprised at how willing people are to check out a new channel if it is covering something that they really want to see. For example, I like to watch unpopular K-pop opinions videos, but it made me annoyed that many of the opinions were repetitive. I wanted to complain about that, so I made a video complaining, and so many people commented that this was something that they had on their minds as well. They related, and that made the video popular. Draw on your own experiences and thoughts. Something I do that I recommend you do when searching for inspiration is to just have one place where you write down all thoughts that come to you while looking at anything related to K-pop. It can be a Google Doc. You can write it in a notebook. It doesn't matter. Say you're watching a stage, and you don't like the way that a member is styled. It might seem pointless, but write that down. Eventually you will collect enough random thoughts that you'll be able to make a video about it. Writing down all those stage outfits you disliked comes together into a worst stage outfits video. Writing down concepts that you wish a group would do comes together into a giving X group a comeback video. Writing down how a company did something you liked or disliked comes together into a worst and best K-pop companies video. These are just some examples of how collecting your thoughts eventually makes for great video ideas. There are an infinite number of ideas you can get by doing this. Don't expect to have fantastic video ideas right away. It takes a lot of time and practice before you'll be able to come up with something you know people will want to watch. The only way to truly know if a video idea is the next big thing is to make that video and post it. I get asked a lot about what apps I use to edit. I use iMovie on my MacBook Pro, but I know that most of you want to edit using your phones. Some of the most common video editing apps for your phone which have their base level features available for free are Vilo, KineMaster, and InShot. Additionally, iMovie has a version for your phone, but it is only available for iPhones. If you want to use your computer, apps that I have seen include iMovie, Filmora, and Adobe Premiere Pro, though computer-based apps tend to be more complicated than phone-based ones. Many editors use combinations of apps, as each app has its own effects available. Figuring out which apps to use is honestly a matter of trial and error, and eventually you will find one that works best for your workflow. Now this is not always true, but up to a certain point, more stuff in your editing is better. For example, reading just text on a screen with no voice is less interesting than adding a robot voice. In turn, using a robot voice is less interesting than using your real voice. Some elements that I have seen that make a video's editing more appealing are having interesting transitions, having a voice, having background music, having subtitles, and having background footage that is actually related to the subject you're talking about. These seem simple, but you'd be surprised at how unique videos with one or more of these elements are. It all comes down to how much effort you want to put in, because editing has a pretty steep learning curve, and you're not going to be able to achieve every effect you want right away. It's okay to have a sort of editing evolution as your channel gets older. Just like with finding inspiration, finding an editing style is all about thinking about what you want in a video. If you wouldn't watch your own video, then it's definitely not good enough. I added subtitles to my videos because I noticed that I enjoyed the videos of people who used subtitles more. If you enjoy videos with a certain filter more, then by all means add that very filter to your own videos as well. Make sure that your videos live up to your standards, because if they don't, they won't be attractive to others either. If you want to know how to achieve anything specific that I have in my editing, send me a DM on Instagram and I'd be happy to explain it to you. An intro and outro are just those things that every K-pop channel tends to have, and making these is always either your favorite or least favorite thing about making videos. For me, it's my least favorite. I absolutely despise making intros and outros, but I feel obligated to have them because it's what K-pop YouTubers just have to do. On the other hand, There are people who enjoy making them so much that they post entire videos consisting of only intros and outros that are free for you to use. People like me are eternally grateful to people like that. If you really hate making intros and outros, just use one from one of those free intros and outros videos. Of course, give credit if the creator asks. If you intend to make your own intro, I have 3 words for you. Make it short. Up to 20% of viewers click off of a video within the first 10 seconds, and up to 40% in the first 30 seconds. So if you have a 30-second intro, that increases the chance of losing watch time by a large factor. I know that there are so many music video clips you want to include, but if you want anyone to actually watch what you have to say in the main portion of your video, you are going to have to keep the intro length down. I recommend a maximum time of 15 seconds. Even my intro, which clocks in at 13 seconds, is far too long in my opinion. But I'm too lazy to change the song, which is why I've kept it. It doesn't really matter what is in the intro or outro as long as it isn't horrific, because if you make it short, the viewers will get through it fast enough that they won't care what's in it. If you want to be lazy, just find a bunch of clips, put the same filter over all of them, and bam, there's your intro. It's okay to improve your intro over time. Already my current intro is 100 times better than my last one. As for your outro, no one actually watches those, so they don't have to be good at all. Just make sure you have one there so that you can include an end screen to your video. Having end screens boosts your views up to 5%, because it keeps viewers on your channel for longer. Thumbnails are arguably the most important thing about your video, because without a good thumbnail, no one will even bother clicking. Now I absolutely hate making thumbnails and I'm also really bad at it, so I don't think that my thumbnails are a good example of how you should do them. But some tips I have for you are to use bright colors and to not put anything important in the bottom right corner, where it will be obscured by the timestamp. One thing I have noticed makes a big difference is zooming in on idols' faces. You will get many more clicks if your thumbnail includes an idol's face covering most of the screen as opposed to a zoomed out group picture. For good examples of thumbnails like these, you can look at the K-pop YouTuber Angelina. Because I edit on my computer, I use Google Slides to make my thumbnails, but that's kinda clapped, so I do not recommend doing that. Some apps for your phone you can use to make thumbnails are Fonto, PixArt, and Ibis Paints. Using these apps, you can add filters to and put text over photos, which is all you basically need for an eye-catching thumbnail. Remember that thumbnails will be small when they appear on YouTube, even if they take up the entirety of your phone screen while editing. Make sure to zoom out every now and then while you make the thumbnail to make sure that everything is visible and readable at a small size. I will caution you against clickbaiting in your thumbnails. Acceptable clickbait is putting the most popular idol in your video in the thumbnail, or putting your most controversial opinion from your video in the thumbnail. Unacceptable clickbait is putting anything that does not make a direct appearance in your video into the thumbnail. YouTube detects when people click on your video but click off quickly and labels videos where that happens a lot as ones that have clickbait. Once clickbait videos are identified, they will not be recommended to anyone. So don't clickbait, the consequences could be dire. A lot of people ask me where I get my fangams, stage mixes, robot voice, instrumentals, and basically everything I edit with. The answer is a lot of looking. Again, this depends on how much effort you want to put into your editing. I don't like having logos on the fangams I use, so I spend a lot of time looking for fangams without logos. I don't like having the same fangam play throughout the video, for copyright reasons which I will explain in part 2. So I spend a lot of time looking for many fangams to switch between. One tip for finding higher quality fangams and stage mixes is to search the group and song name in Hangul instead of English, because obviously the fangam takers are Korean, so they will probably post the fangam or stage mix in Korean as well. Once you find the right background footage, download or screen record it and you're good to go. I get the robot voice through an app on my computer the tutorial to which is always linked in the FAQ section of my description. But again, there are many other apps and websites you can use to achieve the same effect. If you just search up text-to-speech on the App Store, you will find many apps that will do that for you. And if you enter it into Google, you will also find many websites that will do that for you. The particular voice that I use is called Daniel, so if you want that voice, choose that option in your app or website. But there are many other voices you can use as well. It all depends on your preference. That's all for part 1. Part 2 will cover everything you need to know about copyright. Part 3 will cover growing from 0 subscribers, hacking the algorithm, monetization, and balancing YouTube with real life. See you in part 2.